We call on the delegates to now appoint the Honorable Tracy Taegar-Panton as the interim leader of the United Democratic Party. Those who are in favor, rise to your feet and give your yay. Let me hear you, mi gente! UDP! UDP!
We don't know about league, cause we in the World Cup.
UDP!
In what can only be described as an unbreakable show of support by UDP delegates for Albert Area Representative Tracy Taegar-Panton on Sunday, the Alliance for Democracy elected her as the new interim leader of the United Democratic Party. The status of who is the rightful leader is still not clear and may quite likely be the subject to a court battle. Both sides are relying on different sections of the UDP constitution to bolster their positions. The Alliance makes its case on Article 6E, which states, quote, "A sitting of the National Convention shall be scheduled and arranged, and a call to a National Convention shall be issued upon a majority vote of the National Party Council, or upon petition of 1/4 of all delegates, or as may be provided for in the party rules," unquote. The Alliance had presented that petition signed by 232 of the 528 UDP delegates countrywide, which was more than needed to trigger the convention. And by Sunday's convention, that number grew to 347 delegates in attendance, 334 of whom voted in support of Taegar-Panton's leadership and the new executive she brings. The executive also includes interim chairperson Shyne who, according to the Alliance, has replaced Mike Perefit, and interim vice chair Lee Mark Chang, who has replaced Alberto August. When she spoke with the media following the event, Taegar-Panton said that the results of the voting were final and that the Alliance would now do whatever it takes to ensure that the results are honored by the UDP.
I am now the interim leader of the United Democratic Party. The mandate by the delegates and the mandate by the UDP supporters who are out here today in the thousands is a clear indication, and I will take up that mandate and I will lead this party. I will ensure that the party is united, and I will do everything in my power to have the party rebuild to its days of glory. We will leave no stone unturned. I now have a clear mandate from the delegates and the National Convention, which is the highest decision makers of this party, and I will act on that mandate.
The UDP's current elected area representatives, aside from Taegar-Panton, are Collett's area rep Patrick Faber, Queen Square's Denise Sister Barrow, and Corozal North's Hugo Pat. And its other elected officials are Mayor Earl Trapp and Councillor Bernadette Fernandez from Cayo. Faber was the only present of all of these elected UDP officials, but there was notable presence by Audrey Wallace, former CEO in the Prime Minister's office when Shyne Barrow's father, Dean Barrow, was Prime Minister, as well as by former ministers Anthony Boots Martinez and Edmund Castro, and former UDP Port Loyola standard bearer Philip Willoughby, as well as other party standard bearers. Castro told News 5 that he had to show his support for the alliance after he realized that Barrow was not taking the UDP down the right path. Interestingly, he said that the alliance kept Hugo Pat as the UDP's first deputy leader.
After today, Tracy Taegar-Panton will be the new leader of the United Democratic Party. Hugo Pat will be the first deputy. Beverly Williams, second deputy. Shyne Pitts, the chair.
Hugo Pat is now...
Shyne Pitts will be the chairperson. And then we got Lee Mark as the deputy chair.
So you're saying that Pat has now joined forces?
I just gave you the slate.
No, Mr. Barrow has said that what you all are doing here is a non-UDP event simply because they are no longer UDP members.
He is not a UDP. He is a just come. He don't understand how the bricks was laid to even build the headquarters. He don't know not much about the United Democratic Party. I gave him an opportunity to leave, but he know to cut it, and I told him if you know to cut it, I will be vocal against you, my brother.
News 5 has reached out to Hugo Pat for his reaction to Castro's comments, but he did not respond to our calls or messages. But as it relates to Barrow's popularity, a question we ask now is this. Is Sunday's UDP delegates' overwhelming vote for Taegar-Panton a reinforcement of the recent Viking poll? That poll determined that while Barrow is Belize's second most known politician after Prime Minister John Briceño, his favorability ranking is extremely poor at 34th out of 36. Barrow and the executive that called the convention and the voting illegal rely on the argument that Taegar-Panton, Faber, and Belmopan and Belize Rural Central Standard Bearers, John Saldivar and Beverly Williams, had constructively resigned in late August. The UDP Central Executive cited repeated violations of the UDP Constitution, particularly Article 5, 1B and C, Article 5A, B, C, and D, and Article 7, 11. Barrow also turned to the Speaker of the House, Valerie Woods, to kick Taegar-Panton and Faber out of the UDP aisle. That never happened because Woods quoted from the Constitution of Belize, which trumps any other constitution. Woods ruled that the two UDP parliamentarians have not informed her office or the House of their resignation as members. We asked Taegar-Panton at the start of Sunday's event, why didn't the alliance take the matter to the court for a resolution? She explained that they first needed the vote, then they will proceed to court if necessary.
If we need to, we will, but we have to first have the mandate of the people. We must first get the mandate of the delegates, and that is what happens today. And the mandate will be clear after today's convention, what the people want to see happen within the United Democratic Party. If we need to go to court, we go to court. There's no turning back.
Mesopotamia division.
Meso.
Motion 3. Motion to rescind any previous endorsement of the party leader and trigger the recall process.
Geraldine Tillett presented the motion to rescind Barrow as UDP leader. The voting started at 12:20 and ended at 2:50 p.m. The alliance bussed in delegates from all 31 constituencies in a total of 70 chartered buses. It presented 9 motions altogether at the convention, including the motion presented by Ernest Banner from Kaya South, who presented the motion to rescind Mike Perifit as chairman of the UDP, Vanle Jenkins from Lake Independence, who presented the motion to rescind Alberto August as vice chairman, and Geraldine Tillett, who has lived all her life in the Mesopotamia division where Barrow represents. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.